Hi, this is Mrs. Z, and I'm going to go through how to draw Bohr diagrams as to what we're doing in class today. So, first thing is, you need to know that Bohr diagrams or Bohr models are what we use to predict reactivity for elements, okay? So reactivity is how likely an element is going to form a compound with another element, meaning what does it do with its valence electrons? So valence electrons are, by definition, the electrons on the outermost energy levels. Okay, so now we've kind of we haven't really talked about what valence electrons are or what energy levels are. So in our vocabulary, we learned that the electrons are found on the are found outside of the nucleus, and they're found in what's called the electron cloud. But the actual place or the actual locations of electrons are in what's called energy levels. They're also called orbitals. They're also called electron shells. So it really doesn't matter what vocab word that you're using to explain where electrons are found, but you need to understand that there's different energy levels or different shells or different locations in which electrons are found, and that's what we are going to be drawing and looking at. But valence electrons are the most important. Okay, so this is visually how we can see where valence electrons are found. Okay, so Bohr diagram. This is a basis of a Bohr diagram, which we've already seen when we did the atom scavenger hunt. So here we know that in the center is the nucleus, and in the nucleus we have your protons and neutrons. So based off of this model, we know the protons are the dark ones, the neutrons are the white ones, or the nothing's in the nothing symbol. Okay, whereas the electrons, the ones that have a negative charge, they are on the outside in what's called energy levels, or shells, electron shells, or orbitals. Okay, when you are in higher level chemistry, we will call them orbitals. Okay, now for our purposes, we know that the closest ring or the closest shell to the nucleus is the first energy level. Okay, all right, so now these are rules for the energy levels in filling the electrons. First rule is that level 1, or energy level 1, or electron first shell, okay, is level 1 and is closest to the nucleus. It can hold only a maximum of 2 electrons. Okay, level 2 can fill to a maximum of 8. Okay, when you look at the period number, that tells you how many levels it needs to have. Whereas if it has 3 rings, on the 3rd energy level, you can have a maximum of 18. 4, you can have an energy level of a maximum of 32. Okay, but you cannot start filling electrons in the energy levels until the next one is full. Okay, now those are the basic rules, but the thing that we have to remember, or the thing to make it simple for you, is that first ring can only have 2. Every ring after that is 8. Again, in higher level chemistry, we will learn why it's 18 and 32 and so on and so forth. On your desk tower is actually the notes that I would like you to refer to and to put in your notebook if you would like. Okay, it is the green reference laminated that's on your desk tower. Okay, so now what we are going to do is we're going to look at the note sheet that you are going to be completing. Okay, so on the very top here, you have got that model. Here we were looking at lithium. Okay, so here looking at lithium, so looking at this model, this Bohr model of lithium, question here asks you, how many electrons does lithium have? Well, we can clearly see that there's 3. Okay, same thing. How many protons? Okay, again, looking at the model, it's 3. Now, we can look at the periodic table and get this information as well, but we're looking at Bohr models. Okay, here, how many neutrons? 4. Okay, how many energy levels does lithium have? Well, we have 2 rings, so there's 2. Okay, how many positive particles are in lithium? Well, this is knowing what the positive particles are, which we know are, again, P positive stands for proton, so therefore it's 3. The negative charges, again, negative charges have to do with the electrons, which are this one, that's 3. The overall charge of a lithium atom is a total of 3 positive, my plus 3 negatives is 0. So when we're talking about overall charge of an atom, it is 0. Now let's look at the sodium Bohr diagram. So again, knowing the models that the black ones are the protons, which are positive, the white ones are the neutrons, which are neutral, meaning no charge, and then the ones with the dots on the outside the nucleus are the electrons, which are negative. So all we're doing is counting. So how many protons does sodium have? Again, when we count, you will count 11. When we count the number of neutrons, which are all of the ones that are white, which have no charge, those ones are 12. Then we count the electrons, again, the one with the dots, which are on the outside of the nucleus, those are 11. Question asks how many positive charges? Again, knowing what positive charges, which particles are positive, those are the protons, which are 11. The ones that are negative, again, those ones are the electrons that are on the outside, that's 11. How many electrons are on the first energy level or first level of sodium? So again, energy levels go 1, 2, 3. The closest one is the first one. So therefore, you just quickly count. There's only 2. When you count on the second one, there is 8. On the third one, there is 1. This question is asked you, is all of the energy levels full for sodium? Again, the maximum number of electrons for it to be full before you can start filling the next energy level was 8. So therefore, is all of the energy levels full? You should say no, because this last one only has 1, not 8. All right, so now we're going to answer the true or false questions based off of the information that we just went over. So every atom has at least 1 electron. This is true. Okay. Every atom has at least 2 energy levels. This is false. The second energy level, it can hold 8 electrons. This is true. The second energy level always has 8 electrons. This is false. An atom with 10 electrons has 2 energy levels. This is true. If there is a third energy level, that means that the second energy level is full. This is true. A full first energy level has 2 electrons. This is false. A helium atom, which has 2 electrons, is a full atom. This is true. Full just means that all of the electrons are filled in all energy levels. Then the last one, an energy level must be full before a new shell is started. This is true. Okay, so on the back side, you have this chart. You're going to complete the missing information. Again, these are your notes. If you do them or you don't, please understand how to fill them in. So here we're looking at the first row. I've got magnesium, which if you look in the periodic table, its atomic number is 12. That is how we get 12 total electrons. So then all we're going to do is we're going to put the electrons in each energy level until we run out. So for the first energy level, we know that this whole column should always be 2 when we have more than 2 electrons. The next energy level we can fill all the way up to 8, but that only covers 10 electrons. So therefore, the last 2 goes in the third energy level. The last question is asked you, is the energy level full? The answer to this, of course, is no, because this energy level doesn't have 8. Okay, then you're just going to complete the columns as you go through. These are all completed based off of the total number of electrons. You're just going to answer yes or no here and then complete the rest. I would highly recommend that you complete it on your own and then have me check. If you have any questions, please make sure you reach out.